Putin plays with Modi that the West can't detach Russia and that China isn't its just choice. India has expanded acquisition of limited Russian oil to record levels. Don't forget to subscribe and like. The Indian state head has shown up in Russia on his most memorable visit since Moscow attacked Ukraine. India's relationship with Russia depends on shared trust and regard, Narendra Modi said, on appearance. Be that as it may, today, the primary fixing is oil. India has expanded acquisition of limited Russian oil to record levels. The nation has kept up with attachés with Moscow since the Soviet time. Yet its significance as a Russian exchanging accomplice has developed since the West betrayed Moscow with approvals and blackballs. Without even a trace of European business sectors, India is, with China, the principal substitute. The Indian market presently sources over 40% of its oil imports from Russia. However, as Russia has become nearer, particularly to China, India's rival in the district, the connection among Moscow and Delhi is more tense than previously. Moscow needs to show that it actually has accomplices and could reinforce relations with them. The Russian president got Modi on Monday evening in front of true discussions in the Kremlin on Tuesday. Grinning and close, Putin embraced the Indian chief at his home in Novo-Ogaryovo, outside Moscow, welcomed him as his dear companion, and said he was extremely blissful to see him, as per the Russian state news organization TASS. Modi's excursion to Moscow and India's cozy relationship with Russia in the midst of the attack of Ukraine raise worries in Washington. The U.S. State Division said, India has confronted strain from the West to limit any association with Moscow, particularly starting around 2022. India has up to this point opposed that tension, referring to its verifiable binds with Russia and its monetary requirements. On the plan, the two chiefs intend to address the unevenness in the exchange balance between the two nations. India purchases a ton of oil and its commodities to Russia, neglect to match those imports, and work with the arrival of Indian residents misled to battle in the conflict among Russia and Ukraine. In their battle with the West, there is a fascinating issue for both: the advancement of systems for the quick exchange of cash between the two nations. It is key, particularly for the Russians, who have been to some degree detached without the quick instrument for worldwide exchanges since the conflict started. Exchange improvement will likewise figure unmistakably in the discussions, especially the arrangement to foster a transportation passageway between India's principal port, Chennai, and Vladivostok, the doorway to Russia's Far East. Weapons and stabilizers. Russia is the principal arms provider to India, which has tried not to denounce the intrusion of Ukraine. India is currently taking a gander at different choices as the conflict in Ukraine has sabotaged Russia's capacity to supply ammo and extra parts. This space can be exploited by Washington, which is attempting to court New Delhi and use it as a stabilizer to China in the Asia-Pacific district. In any case, Modi attempts to keep up with close relations with Russia. Putin is on a dash of embraces with Asian pioneers. Last month, with the North Korean, and afterward visit in Vietnam. Presently, he needs to engage the Indian Goliath, showing that he isn't a vassal of China, that he has a scope of choices, and that Russia stays an extraordinary power. The West has attempted to separate Putin. The mentality of China, India, and the powers of the Center East, and the vacillation of nations in Africa and Latin America have shown that Moscow keeps on building ties. However, right now they are inferior clients, contrasted with the benefit that the European market had for Russia. Don't forget to subscribe and like.